What is up, everybody? This is Sugi coming back from a break, and today I'm gonna be making this sort of a pseudo review on Savage Resurrection, which is the third game on the series done by S2 Games. The first Savage game came out in 2003. The second game came out back in 2008, and Savage Resurrection was released back in 2016. Back then, it wasn't free to play; it was a $20 price tag, and now on January 2017, it went to free to play. And obviously, S2 Games have done their other two games, which were probably more successful. Strife, well, actually that game got closed, and Heroes of the New Earth was their moneymaker, which they sold to Garena eventually. But for the most part, to put it really mildly, S2 Games is a fucking clown fiesta. It's a fucking shit show of a company. It's probably one of the worst company. I'm not exaggerating. This has to be one of the bottom 5 worst gaming companies that I've ever seen. They have made so many stupid decisions and stupid management decisions. They have done layoffs and stuff like that. It's incredibly retarded in terms of their games. They haven't really been very smart about making their games. Obviously, unless they truly try to just make a huge cash grab with the $20 price on Savage Resurrection and then intentionally putting it free to play at one point. And when they put it to free to play, they didn't promise the people who had bought the game any type of VIP stuff or founder stuff, anything like that. Probably they will, but they didn't promise them anything. And it's kind of like fucking over your previous customers that believed in the game, although they were very vocal about the game that there was no players. And it's a 16 versus 16 game, you need a lot of players in the community. So you have to go free to play, but it was very fucking dumb to put a price tag on the game. Maybe you could have justified an early access price for it. But the idea and the problem is, when you have a lot of other games, such as PlanetSide 2, that game is free to play. You don't need money to play that game. And it's exactly kind of the same concept without the building in that game. And it's a better game than this. And there are other games that are very grand scale. Maybe Overwatch and Paladins and Unreal Tournament. You got a lot of FPS, Arena FPS. I did the Turbo review not too long ago. This one has more players though. It's a bit different. It has more, obviously, a bigger emphasis also on melee combat than normal FPS games out there. But for the most part, what they did with the pricing and going to free to play was a bit of a bad business decision. And I'm not sure how many people are going to be sticking around now in the free to play phase. But let's talk about the game now. So as I mentioned, it is a 16 versus 16. There are different types of maps, roughly around 4 to 3, I think it was. And you either play on the human side or you play on these space alien things, which kind of look like Urks and some type of lizard men, combination of. They kind of look like some of the stuff from Doom. And essentially, you have 16 players on each side, and the mission is to destroy the enemy's base. However, there is an AI or a human commander in each side which will be building defense. It will be building towers, it will be building different mining structures and other buildings, and which will grant resources to the game. And essentially, it has this base building proportion on the game, which makes it kind of interesting. I have to give it that. It makes it kind of interesting concept, and it can derail the game very, very long. It can last even up to an hour, to be honest. But there are some other problems in the game where the games can last 8 minutes if nobody's building anything on the base, and you just go backdoor the base and destroy it, like I did in one of the games. However, a lot of the new players that came into the game probably don't understand all the mechanics. Also, one issue that I see is, I think I can see a lot of people wanting to play the AI. And if they don't get the AI, they might be mad. I think it reminds me of some of the Warcraft 3 custom games. There was this RPG custom game, I think it was called Titanland, where one player would be the Titan, aka the god, which would be able to control all of this cool stuff. Even each other player would be playing these factions around the world. And the thing is, everybody wanted to play the fucking Titan. That was really the fucking problem. I guess the same thing in the Star Wars Battlefront is that everybody wants to be the fucking Darth Vader, but there can be only one in the fucking map, okay? And that's kind of the problem that I see in this concept. But it also kind of is well, I'm laughing way too much. I don't know why I'm doing that, but it's just kind of a funny. I'm sorry. This this game is a fucking clown fiesta. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Okay, this is not gonna be very serious a review. Oh my god. It's It's not a very great game, okay? But let's talk about other stuff outside from the system. And the thing is that you start with this sort of like a pleb type of a spawn. You get more points inside the game through kills and experience, and or these like spawn point. Well, I don't know what it's a currency, okay? And then you are able to summon different types of units which are stronger and legendary. You're gonna spawn as like an elite unit essentially, and you have a loadout. You have different weapons. sorry, this is such a fucking bad game. I'm just so fucking sorry, but I can't fucking take this seriously. Okay, so let's try to get back into it. Okay. It is a oh my god. Okay. And there's a spawn system with different weapons that you can choose, and obviously it's like there's melee weapons, there are ranged weapons, there's also some loadouts which like have some like invisibility cloaks and other shit. And the maps look good, okay? I don't say the turbine is very interesting in terms of gameplay. I would wish there would be more jumping around certain objectives, and there would be more like things you could jump off to from cliff to cliff type of playstyle that you can see in games like Overwatch, for instance, where they kind of have a bit better level design. I do like the terrain. I think it's good. The game runs pretty okay. I didn't have like frame drops or anything like that, and for the most part. But let's talk about the sounds a bit. I think the sounds are fucking horrible. That's a big problem in this game. I think like the gun sounds are somewhat general, and then when I was like jumping off on this place in the middle of fucking rock, there was this like blank, blank fucking metal sound. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, it just seemed, some of the sounds just felt really awful on the game, that it really put like a really poor taste in my mind. My mouth. And for the most part, you know, God. Okay, just starting to stay serious with this game, but it just kind of like, it just really, what really makes me laugh is that people buy into this S2 games bullshit over and over again. They like fuck up all the time with these games. And their next game, some people are gonna fucking buy it. Like, why would you do that? This is the most fucking, oh my god, the CEO, Mark DeForest, is also like a, oh my god, that fucking guy. But to really summarize my thoughts about the game, I think graphics are okay, it runs okay, the interface is shit, the minimap looks like it's made on fucking Microsoft Paint, it doesn't, a lot of the layout, a lot of the interface, as I said, looks kinda 2003. And this has been actually a bit of a problem in a lot of these arena games that I've been playing. It just seems way too fucking low budget. I think they have to make something that looks a bit better than this. And obviously, the combat, it's not the best that I've seen, but it's not really the worst either. The game, as I said, is 16 versus 16, super dependent on having players playing the game. And if there's not going to be players playing the game, you're not going to have fun. There should be probably some type of fun mode like 8 versus 8 with like an arena mode or something bullshit where people can learn a bit of the mechanics a bit more. A more faster type of a game mode, because the games can vary very differently based on what kind of teammates you have, how how skilled they are, you know, and you know that. And obviously there is Steam drops or cosmetic items, trading cards. I fucking hate the chess system, to be honest, but it's cool that I at least can, if I play the fucking game, I can sell the chests and get some money, I guess. But there's also player-hosted dedicated servers, but nobody's gonna fucking do that with this shit show game, probably. It's not really the worst arena game, and it's free to play right now. Maybe I'm a bit too judgmental about it, but knowing S2 games, they just know how to fuck things up, and they're not really smart about promoting their games or doing things that are kind of needed. I don't see an esports angle on this game. It can't be done really. It lacks a lot of things, and I also feel it kind of lacks progression. You do have like some scoreboards and shit that you can look, but there's not like a, so to speak, like individual levels or anything like that that you can really like move towards on. And I just kind of feel it's kind of, in this type of game, I don't like the fact that I always have to load out into the game and start with playing with the weakest character on the game. And also one of the things that appeared on the map is the NPCs. And the NPCs won't even fucking attack you. You gotta hit them in the fucking head and wait 5 seconds and maybe they will start attacking you. But you can kill them without them attacking you. That's a really fucking bad design, to be honest. There should be more interesting weapons, perhaps. Actually, the weapon models are pretty good, but the weapons in themselves are pretty standard for FPS. And it don't really excite me too much, and there's not really that sort of like a rock, paper, scissors element into the classes either. And I think it should also have a tutorial mode instead of having a video explaining that stuff. But maybe just as me feeling about it. But just kind of summarize, I don't want to talk about this game any longer. It's okay. It's okay. It's not significant. I don't think it's going to be a big game. Maybe if some fucking miracle happens, maybe it will have like a decent community for some time. But I doubt it. I think there are just better options out there. But it does certain cater to the niche because it does have those RTS elements and it's 16 versus 16, which is a really big thing, which you don't see that much. The biggest FPS games that we see probably are 16, like 6 versus 6 in Overwatch, and then we of course have Battlefield 1, which is like 32 versus 32, or is it 20 versus 20? Or is that even 16 versus 16? I don't really remember at this point. But for the most part, it does cater to a certain niche. But a lot of the players who bought the game before it went to free-to-play are fucking pissed at the game, and they have been staying at the game for a very long time, so it will be see how the veteran community and the new community will stick together and stay on the game if they will. Thanks for watching this review. Please subscribe. I fucking need it. Well, I'm out.